The last lap. Those were the words I typed when I sat down to write the script for Real Racing 3 on March the 3rd, 2026, 8 p.m. And I won't lie, the words didn't come easily. I still remember the first time I played this game. What attracted me immediately was the sheer number of cars, real cars, and manufacturers and real racetracks, recreated as faithfully as possible. You were literally spoiled for choice. This was a game I came home to, tired, stressed, and wanting something to relax. Right after dinner, when there was still some time before sleep, I would launch the game, run a few races, try different cars, and take on new challenges. And the game never disappointed. I loved every moment of it. And if you're watching this video, chances are you felt that connection too. Please share in the comments how deeply this game resonated with you. Because for many of us, this was never just a game. It was emotion. It was the satisfaction of completing a perfect lap and sometimes unexpectedly bumping into another car. I hated that. But there were times when it just had to happen. In the beginning, when I started playing the game, bumping into someone was natural. Now, however, I can smoothly avoid. I am particularly proud of earning that skill. If you have watched most of my Real Racing 3 videos, you would know how I improved from bad to a little better. Events were truly eventful. Sometimes it was the frustration of losing a hypercar we worked so hard to unlock. And the joy, the absolute joy, when we finally won that car. I never did flaunt the cars I earned on social media, but I would love to know how many of you owned one such car in the game. I will be honest, I did not earn any. If you did, that was the real victory. Not the podium, not the virtual audience, but that feeling. That was the real reward. Then came the customization. Choosing a perfect paint job, experimenting with different colors, or recreating official color schemes using whatever tools the game gave us. And once it was perfect, we would switch to the in-game camera, adjust the angles, frame the shot, and capture that perfect picture. I spent hours doing that, and I'm sure many of you did too. No matter what car you drove, two cars never felt exactly the same. Each one had its own personality. A car would feel sluggish if it needed servicing. The roar of the engine, the acceleration, the braking, cutting corners, and that virtual adrenaline rush while overtaking opponents, every moment felt different. Even the smallest details mattered. The skid marks stayed on the road. The game rewarded. It is really difficult. The game rewarded clean racing. Sometimes a clean bump wouldn't count as a collision. The game was forgiving in that sense. But when you heard that loud crash, which you are going to miss, you knew the damage was serious and the clean race bonus was probably gone. And that sound, that screeching impact you felt real, almost like you had genuinely crashed the car. Now that was immersive racing at its best. For gamers like me, Real Racing 3 was more than entertainment. It was an escape. A place where the stress and the worries of the day could simply fade away. Not because we were trying to escape life, but because we genuinely enjoyed the experience. Winning a race always left you with one question: what's next? Some challenges were easy, others were brutally difficult, especially those special events I talked about in the Ugly series, released back in 2012 Real Racing 3 is now a very old game by mobile standards. And yet every time you started the game, it felt fresh. It taught you something about racing. Handling mattered, timing mattered, and those lessons stayed with you. Years from now, maybe 10, 20 or even 30 years down the line, those memories will still remain. Real Racing 3 will become one of those classics, an eternal masterpiece in mobile racing. Just like how games like Super Mario Bros. Or Contra still evoke nostalgia today. And perhaps someday, Real Racing 3 will be remembered as a benchmark for how mobile racing games should be made. However, unfortunately, the very thing that made the game special, the cars, also contributed to its downfall. Maintaining licenses from real-world manufacturers became increasingly difficult. I explained this in detail in the Ugly series, so be sure to check that out. And now on March 20th, 2026, Real Racing 3 enters its final gear. Fire Monkey Studios, thank you for creating a game that gave us so many unforgettable memories. And EA, it was good while it lasted. I am Phil from Gamerphoenyx, and this video is my tribute to Real Racing 3.